Welcome into the latest edition of ESPN FC. I'm Dan Thomas, joined by Ali Moreno. And I tell you what, it's very rare. I've worked with Stevie a long time to see him in a bad mood. But today, grumpy Stevie is very much with us.
No comment.
He really is. He's never grumpy.
I am.
Oh, dear.
My granddaughter was calling me grumpy today.
Well, she's right. Okay, let's get you through
she
this,
is.
and then you can have some mints, and then you'll be happier.
Right, hurry up then.
Right.
Just mints?
Look, he's going to shout at me now. We're going to get on with this or what? More enjoyable for Stevie, a spirited 0-0 draw or a mistake-riddled 4-4?
Oh, 0-0 all day long.
Oh, shut up.
Absolutely.
Why? You want goals. Watch this game for goals.
Oh, well, why do you want mistakes all over the shop?
I want goals.
You want a good battle, a good spirited fight, a good 90 minutes. You don't want to watch a bunch of amateurs making mistakes left, right and centre on the 8 goals. No, thank you.
Oh. Ali, what would you prefer?
He really is grumpy today.
I know.
He really
Honestly.
is grumpy. Hey, if it is a 4-4 game, there's bound to be at least a couple of goals that are worth watching, and that's better than watching a 0-0 game.
Messi hasn't scored an open play or assisted in the last 7 league games. Is his age catching up to his play, Ali?
I think that Lionel Messi is trying to figure out what his role is under Ronald Koeman and Barcelona and what he wants it to be. And that struggle shows up in the way that he performs. Today, he had moments in which he looked very much like vintage Lionel Messi. And the goal comes from Lionel Messi dropping into a deeper position and playing the ball over the top to Jordi Alba. He's got to find some happy medium between being that guy that plays the ball to Jordi Alba and being the guy that took on Sergio Ramos inside the 18-yard box and Thibaut Courtois came up with the save. Somewhere in between is the greatness of Lionel Messi. If he does that, he'll be fine. But yeah, it is kind of scary to think that he has not scored from open play in 7 matches.
Next question is a great one, Stevie. Who's more important to their team? Van Dijk or Ramos? Isn't that good?
Oh,
That's a good question. I'll tell you what, that is a good question. I actually don't think one of them is more important than the other one. I think they're both at the same level because without Ramos, Real Madrid ain't winning La Liga, and I'd got to say that without the signing of Van Dijk, Liverpool, I don't think would have won the Premier League. So that kind of puts them on the same level, would you not say?
Yeah, maybe just Liverpool have got a better attacking threat, so they could help you out a little bit.
Can I say, Dan, that I think Sergio Ramos is more important to Real Madrid than Virgil van Dijk is to Liverpool. And the slight margin by which I say that is that Joel Matip and Joe Gomez, they're serviceable players. Serviceable. But they have mistakes in them with or without Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah.
Rafael Varane is a World Cup winner. And I mean, a World Cup winner, a shutdown defender. When Sergio Ramos is there, he's a shutdown defender. When Papi's not home, then all of a sudden he is melting all over the place. For that very reason, I'm going to say that the leadership of Sergio Ramos for Real Madrid becomes far more consequential.
Stevie, if you were playing Ali in today's game, how would you defend him? Likewise, Ali, how would you play against Stevie if you were playing in his era and diving was not an option? Stevie, how did you tell your players to deal with Ali?
Well, you stand just a little bit off him. You don't get involved with him, because if you get involved with him, he'll go down. And if he doesn't feel the touch, he can't go down. And that means that his touch when he's trying to control the ball has to be perfect.
Did they listen to you,
And so when
Stevie?
it's not... Well, they listen to... See, the problem is, Dan, football players do listen to the coaches and they do listen to good advice. The problem is, when they step on the field and the whistle blows, for some reason, they all get dementia until they come back in at half-time and you go, remember I told you? And they go, oh, yeah, I forgot.
Stevie, who was the one that you told me a story of like, a player defending at corners, and you told him again and again and again what he should have been doing.
No.
What was the story?
No. Actually, the best one was we had a guy. So me and Paul Moreno, right, and I used to say to Paul, we come in either before the game or half time, I'd be giving some advice, right, and I'd go up to this player, and I'd said to Paul before, I'd say, right, watch this. I said, as soon as he starts nodding his head, I know he hasn't a clue what I'm talking about. So I would stand there and Paul would be watching and I'd start talking to him about getting goal side and everything else. And after about 2 seconds it would start and eventually he'd be like that. And I'd keep a straight face. And then after I'd say, all right, on you go, and he'd walk away and I'd turn to Paul and go like that. What chance have we got?
Is that just because you're Scottish ways, or just because they didn't understand what you were trying to get across?
No, he hadn't a clue what I was talking about. Not a clue.
Ali, how would you play against Stevie?
Well, I was about to say that, honestly, during my playing days, I would have loved to have played for Stevie Nicol.
Oh.
And I don't just say that because he's my colleague now, we're golfing buddies and everything.
Almost
I would have loved to have played for Stevie. I always thought that Stevie was a guy that was a player's coach and a guy who knew what he was talking about. And that goes a long way for players like myself in trusting what this guy is saying so that we can go out and execute it. I would have loved the opportunity to have played for Stevie.
Should City be worried by their lack of ruthlessness in front of goals, Stevie? It seems for the last 2 years they always play for the beautiful goal instead of just going out and getting it done.
Yes, it should be. Yeah, because right now they're dropping points because of it. You know, had they been sharper today, they would have beaten West Ham. But they didn't take the chances. Then, of course, they lose goals. They're always losing goals. And when you're always losing goals, then the burden of putting the ball in the back of the net becomes even greater. And when you're struggling at the best of times, it just stays a struggle. So, yeah, they've got a problem right now with that.
Ali, do England have the worst officials when it comes to making decisions with VAR?
Oh.
Yes. Yes, they do. I don't know why they make the process as complicated as they do. It feels like everywhere else they could make mistakes, but at the very least the process in itself seems to go smoothly, and then it's about the interpretation of the call. In England, at least the big time calls that we see and just kind of jump in our eyes, like today's Manchester United and Chelsea, and how is that not a penalty on a Spiriqueta by Harry Maguire? I mean, apparently he can chokehold people in the box. I don't quite understand how that happens. With multiple eyes looking at the same replay, that they don't say, hey man, I really think there's a foul here. That nobody brings that up. That nobody says to the referee, hey man, you may want to go check this. I just don't see that sort of mistake is just flagrant, and VAR should be able to remedy that.
Final question, Stevie.
No,
no, carry on.
Sorry,
We're almost finishing. I thought maybe you're in a better mood.
Well, I've listened up a little bit.
You have, haven't you?
Off, you know what I mean?
Teared up. So you can't be grumpy for too long.
No. Well, it has to be pressure, because any rational, calm official should be able to look at that chokehold and say it's a penalty kick and it's a foul. But it must be the pressure of, you know, when something happens, it's right, okay, bang, you're on. That they can't handle it. And then the longer it takes them, the more agitated and the more confused and the more they're looking for something and they're trying to see something and they're not sure and they're thinking, watch, all the time's going on, I need to hurry up and make a decision. It can only be pressure because, I mean, really, a cool, calm, collected official, I would think, just sitting at home. If this guy had been sitting at home, he probably went, oh, that's a penalty. It would probably take them 2 seconds.
Right.
As soon as the replay came up, he probably went, that's a penalty. But because he's in this box, he's got all the eyes on him, everybody's waiting for it. It has to be that pressure. Can't be anything else.
Final question, Dan and Stevie. I'm trying to sound more British and Scottish. Which British and Scottish slang, well, English and Scottish, right? English and Scottish slang should I incorporate into my everyday lingo? Brilliant, chalk and cheese, beggar's belief, gobsmack, gutted, sky, rubbish, posh, knackered, blimey. That's quite a list.
Wow.
Well, cord blimey. It's got to be cord blimey, isn't it?
Cord blimey. Yeah, cord blimey's a bit London. I would never say cord blimey, would I?
Yeah, but that's definitely, it's completely English and British.
It's London. No, cord blimey's London. It isn't. Don't just say that everything is London, Stevie.
Oh, sorry. Well, what do you want me to... Why don't you just tell me what you want me to say then?
What Scottish slang would have? I tell you a word that you use all the time, which I picked up now and I use far too much, is I. I say I all the time.
Aye.
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 That's true.
Aye.
Aye, you're right.
I have a question.
You taught your grandkids to say I, didn't you, Stevie? I remember you telling me this.
Well, we kind of... Well, we start off trying to teach them words, but then eventually they actually say them because my daughter says I all the time.
Right.
So they end up saying stuff like that. So we try and teach them to say other daft stuff.
like what, Stephen?
Hello,
social
Move
services.
Move on.
Go on, Ali.
I have a question. When Stevie says, how's your Donald, referring to Donald Duck, and how's your luck, is that a British thing or is that a Stevie thing?
That is a slang thing, isn't it, Stevie?
It's a slang. Aye, definitely, aye. Aye. Yeah. How's your Donald? It's Cockney rhyme slang. Aye.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of it.
When he tells me when I'm about to hit a shot over water in the golf course and he says all the Georgie and it's all, all the George Best.
All the George Best. Yes, look at
George
that, Ali.
I'm having to put all that together while Stevie's talking to me. But I'm learning very quickly.
I like it. Right, Stephen, you're done. Go and have some shepherd's pie.
Oh, disappointed now.
There you go. We'll be back tomorrow for more. Until then, goodbye. He really is grumpy. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.